Legendary folk guitarist Wizz Jones dies at 86, cause of death and final words revealed. April 27, 2025, London, UK. Wizz Jones, the revered British folk guitarist and pioneering figure of the 1960s acoustic scene, has died at the age of 86. The singer-songwriter, known for inspiring legends like Eric Clapton, Keith Richards, and John Renbourn, passed away peacefully at Trinity Hospice in London on April 27, 2025, just 2 days after celebrating his 86th birthday. His family confirmed that the cause of death was complications from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. In his final moments, surrounded by his wife Sandy and son Simeon, Whiz reportedly uttered the words, "Let the music keep going, even when I'm not." A guitarist's guitarist. Born Raymond Ronald Jones on April 25, 1939, in Thornton Heath, Surrey, Whiz began his musical journey in the late 1950s, performing skiffle and folk tunes in the coffee houses of Soho and the bohemian clubs of London. Adopting the nickname Whiz after a comic book character, he became one of the first British musicians to blend American blues, British ballads, and fingerstyle guitar with poetic lyricism. He was widely known as a musician's musician, admired by some of the greatest guitarists in rock history. Eric Clapton once said, "Whiz was light years ahead of us. He made you want to play better." Cause of death confirmed. According to the family's public statement, Jones had been managing chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, for several years, a progressive condition that affects breathing and lung function. Despite his health struggles, Whiz continued to perform on small stages well into his 80s, often appearing alongside his son, Simeon Jones, on harmonica and saxophone. His condition worsened in early April, and he was admitted to Trinity Hospice in South London, where he died peacefully with music playing in the background. Doctors confirmed his cause of death as complications from COPD, including respiratory failure. Final words and farewell. According to his wife Sandy, Whiz remained lucid and lighthearted until the end. On the morning of April 27th, as his family gathered by his bedside, he reportedly asked if someone had brought his guitar. When told no, he smiled, closed his eyes, and softly said, "Let the music keep going, even when I'm not." Those words, now shared in statements and across social media, are being embraced by fans as his final message to the folk world. A lasting legacy. Wizz Jones released over a dozen studio albums during his career, including his seminal self-titled 1969 debut, the Winter Song EP, and Solo Flight. His work with the folk rock group Lazy Farmer and collaborations with legends like Ralph McTell, Bert Jansch, and John Renbourn solidified his place as one of the founding fathers of the British folk revival. Though he never achieved mainstream commercial fame, his influence is immense. Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones credited Whiz for changing the way he thought about acoustic guitar. Honors and recognition. Jones received numerous accolades throughout his lifetime. In 2019, he was presented with the BBC Radio 2 Folk Awards Lifetime Achievement Award, an honor he called deeply humbling. He was also celebrated by folk festivals worldwide and was a fixture at the Cambridge Folk Festival for decades. A life of quiet genius. Whiz was known not just for his musicianship, but also his humility. In a 2015 interview, he said, "I never chased stardom. I just wanted to play my songs, see the world, and make a living doing what I love." And he did exactly that, touring Europe, the US, and the UK for over 6 decades, always with a guitar in hand and a story to tell. Tributes pour in. Following the news of his passing, tributes from fellow musicians and fans have flooded social media. Ralph McTell, my dearest friend and musical brother. Whiz taught us all how to play with grace and honesty. He was a wizard with 6 strings, a true folk poet. Wizz Jones walked so the rest of us could run. Younger artists, including Laura Marling and Ben Howard, also credited him as a foundational influence on their sound. Final arrangements, per Whizz's wishes, there will be no formal funeral, but a public celebration of song will be held at London's Union Chapel on May 12th. His ashes will be scattered along the River Thames near his longtime home in Barnes. The family has asked that in lieu of flowers, donations be made to the English Folk Dance and Song Society, EFDSS, and Trinity Hospice, both of which played meaningful roles in his life and care. Remembering, Wizz Jones didn't need stadiums or top 40 charts. His influence runs deeper than commercial metrics. His playing style, lyrical nuance, and generosity of spirit reshaped British folk and left fingerprints on generations of artists. His music, gentle and unassuming, will continue to play in pubs, cafes, festivals, and in the hearts of those who understand the beauty of simplicity and truth in song. Rest easy, Whiz. The music will keep going, and so will your legend.